Good morning from Scrabster in Caithness, and I have another date with Orkney. This time I'm travelling with Northlink Ferries aboard MV Hamnavoe over to Stromness. So I'm going to get up to the check-in desk, get my boarding pass and get on board. Why don't you come along and see how it goes? And the vessel taking me the 30 miles or 48 kilometres from Scrabster to Stromness is MV Hamnavoe. So she's just arrived from Stromness, so all the cars are disembarking. I don't think there's going to be too much heading back. It's the end of January, it doesn't look terribly busy, but we'll see how it goes. It's worth noting that foot passengers check in at the Scrabster ferry terminal, which is situated 800 metres away from the Scrabster vehicle check-in. If you've travelled by Ember up to Scrabster, the bus stop is at the vehicle check-in, so you'll have a 10-minute walk up to the ferry terminal. The X99 stagecoach drops passengers off at the ferry terminal itself. So after checking in and picking up my boarding passes, it's up to the departure lounge. And there's no hanging about in the departure lounge, I'm called straight through, so let's get on board. Hiya. How you doing? Not too bad at all, thanks. Smashing. Cheers, see you now. So let's have a wander through deck 5. So on entering this lobby area, you're greeted by the information desk. There's also a shop and the TV lounge. And as we carry on through, there's more seating, and this takes us into the Greenbow lounge. Carrying on through our little tour, you'll see there's more seating, and there's also the children's play area, and that takes us nicely back round to the information desk. The Hamnavoe was built by Acre Vineyards and launched in 2001. She entered service in 2003. She has a capacity for 600 passengers and 98 cars with a speed of 19 knots. She just returned from refit when I did this sailing and she's looking really good, but I've got to be honest, in my opinion, she's a vessel that does appear to be very well looked after. Okay, so let's get outside. So that was an absolute doddle. Picked up my tickets straight through the departure lounge and on board, and as I say, it doesn't look terribly busy, so that'll probably help me for filming. So that's a good thing. But I've also splashed out £7.50 on the Magnus lounge, so I'm going to have a wee look around there and probably spend most of my time in there, but I'm going to catch our departure and have another little wander around deck 6 just to show you what's going on there, and then we'll be in the lounge. So this is an overview of deck 5, where we've just had a little wander through, and you'll notice there's some cabin accommodation. Northlink actually offer a Hamnavoe B&B service. You can book to spend the night on board the vessel in one of their cabins before travelling on the 6:30 sailing in the morning from Stromness, or the 9 o'clock sailing from Stromness on weekends. So that was deck 5, so we're now going to have a wander through deck 6, so let's go. So making our way past some toilets, there's a new feature, the dog lounge. So this previously was a gaming area, but you can now stay there with your favourite pet pooch. And then it's into Brinky's bar. Again, loads of seating here, very comfy seating indeed. There's also a quiet lounge
if that's your thing. And from there you carry on, and we'll make our way to the stern of the vessel and have a look outside. And it wasn't too long before the last of the freight was loaded, the stern door was closed, and we made our way from the berth. Leaving Scrabster, we passed the Holborn Head Lighthouse. This was designed by David and Thomas Stevenson. The lighthouse was completed in 1862 and remained operational until 2003.
Right, started to rain, I'm going in.
And so to the Magnus Lounge. What will I get for my £7.50? Well, complimentary tea, coffee and soft drinks. There's also a selection of fruit and nibbles. On the morning sailing you can get a hot filled roll, and on the afternoon and evening sailings complimentary alcoholic beverages are available. There are newspapers, magazines and books to fill your time, or you can just enjoy the views. Hamnavoe bed and breakfast customers have access to the Magnus Lounge included in their price on the evening before their sailing. I found it to be a really cosy spot to enjoy the sailing. A coffee, a roll and some light reading. What more could you want? Also located on Deck 6 is the Feast Restaurant, which offers a good variety of hot and cold meals, and I have to say, over the years that I have used this service back and forth, the food on board the Hamnavoe is always very tasty. In the distance is the Old Hamnavoe, a 137 metre or 449 feet tall sea stag. It was created by the sea eroding the cliffs surrounding it and is fewer than 400 years old. Then at 335 metres or 1,128 feet is St John's Head, one of the highest vertical sea cliffs in the UK. As we approach Stromness, let's talk money. So my adult single foot passenger fare was £22.10 plus £7.50 for the Magnus Lounge. It's worth noting that Northlink operates a low mid-peak season system with fares priced accordingly. During the low and mid-season, a friend and family discount scheme is available. This gives 30% discount off passenger and vehicle fares. Cabins aren't included. But to make the most of this offer, you'll need to know someone who is resident in the North Isles and get them to email Northlink with your email address, and then you can get signed up for it. So maybe it's a bit of a faff, but 30% is 30%. And after one last look from the stern of the vessel, it's time to disembark. And in a very exciting turn of events, we're using this gangway to disembark. And if you hang around for a little bit longer, you can get my thoughts on the Northlink experience on this sailing from Scrabster to Stromness.
Let's just have a wee look at the check-in desk this side. So I'm just in the departure lounge in Stromness, and that was the Northlink experience, and I thought it was really good. It was really comfortable. It was quite blustery, but there was hardly any movement on the vessel. It was an easterly or southeasterly wind, according to BBC Weather. The one you want to watch travelling from Scrabster to Stromness is a westerly, and from Stromness to Scrabster, because that is not a lot of fun. The Magnus lounge, yeah, $7.50. So I had a couple of coffees and sausage roll, so I think that kind of pays for itself, and it was really comfy and nice as well. Pleasant place to be. Although this time of year, it's January, it's very quiet on board, so there was loads of space to just wander about and find a wee space for yourself if you wanted. But all in all, thumbs up Northlink. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one.